next question has to do with education. What do you think of the Common Core standards and the race to the top, two major pieces in President Obama's plan to nationalize education? If you oppose ceding authorities over education to the federal government, will you vote against any additional funds, and will you support legislation to defund it or unfund it?
Right. Well, my understanding is that this is just an extension of No Child Left Behind, but it takes it a step further than that. And as we discussed earlier when we talked about education, that I absolutely support, that we need to size down and do it quickly the U.S. Department of Education, which is causing real issue and real harm to our classrooms here in Alabama and throughout the 2nd District. Absolutely, again, education should be child-centered and parent-driven. And when you start talking about nationalizing standards for education on this level, you are taking away the control of those who know and understand their communities and their children and their classroom, and you take away the ability for them to make those decisions right where they are in their communities. When we talk about job creation, we talk about what is the #1 issue that is affecting our country right now. It is job creation. And this is stifling our workforce when we are taking away the control of the parents and the teachers to make decisions as it relates to our children. We have to raise up a workforce that is capable of going out and applying for the job in the first place. And if we have bureaucrats in Washington representing our interests here at home who don't know our children, who don't know our system, who don't know our local boards of education, we are going to continue to stifle their growth in the classroom.
I think all you got to do is just clearly look at where our education has gone since the inception of the Department of Education. Jimmy Carter, when he put it in place, you look at where our rating has gone as a nation, and I think we understand that the more you put bureaucracy and big government behind our education, the more you dumb down our society. Because what you do is you create an environment in which you're only as strong as the weakest link. And if everybody's held down to that level, we should be fueling our children's passion to grow, to excel, to achieve more than we did, more than they think they're possible of doing. And the only way you'll do that is you eliminate these national standards that keep getting crammed down our throats, and unfunded mandates that don't allow teachers to teach in the way they know kids will learn. And all it's going to do is continue to be a generational gap that will make us uncompetitive in the job market, in government, and as a nation. We need to give those choice back to parents. Again, I think a universal tax credit is the first way to get there, because you empower the local communities to get involved and put the people in schools that are performing well. We need results-based education. That's what it's got to be about. And when we start getting back to that, and again, give parents the choice to put God and other things, morality, back in school, we will see an increase in education like this country has never seen. And I look forward to being the person to help do that.
Just again, it's got to be child-centered and parent-driven. And I think that is the most important component when it comes to educating our children. That they need to be the center of all of our efforts in getting them educated, and then also giving the parents the choices and the ability to do what is in the best interest for their child.
We've got about 10 minutes left, so if you want to answer very quickly, I'll try to get to as many questions as I can. The next one, and we begin with you, Mr. Barber. With the world taking a stand against Israel because of their action in the Gaza flotilla attack, do you support the position that President Obama has taken?
I think we absolutely must support Israel. They are a nation of hope out in the middle of a nightmare of folks that want to wipe them off the map and want to take away that beacon of democracy that's out there, and we've got to stand tall with one of our closest allies. Now, we don't have to agree with everything that Israel is doing. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not sure we should be sending them as much money as we do, but we absolutely should be standing tall against them, protecting themselves against terrorist acts and those around them that want to defeat them and wipe them off the map. And I will stand tall to support Israel. I have already. I think radical Islam is a threat to them as well as a threat to us. And if we don't start standing tall and identifying the enemy, calling them by name, and start working actively against them, then we're not only going to lose Israel, we're going to lose our own sovereignty as a nation. We're being penetrated from within, and we better recognize that today by tightening our borders. And again, calling radical Islam out for what it is, or else we're going to be in a very bad place. It may not be 1 year, 5 years, or 10 years, but it will happen. It is the way that society works. It's the way that ideology works, and we must stand tall against it with Israel as well as alone.